Hi Niharika, how are you today?
Hi Shreya, I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, I'm actually excited to be talking to a Miss Universe title holder today. Okay, so let's just deep dive into who you are as a person. Can you tell us, or at least describe yourself in, say, three words?
Oh, in three words, I would say I'm ambitious, kind, and hardworking.
Okay, so would you say that you've changed as a person since your childhood, or were you the same person since before? Like, was it because of your profession that you sort of molded yourself into a particular brand image, or were you like this from childhood?
I would say that my core has remained the same, like my values when I'm alone sitting with me. But obviously, I've evolved also a lot in my journey when I've traveled the world, when I've went to college to a completely different place than where I grew up, and profession also plays a major part. Since earlier I was into IT, that requires a completely different skill set, and what I'm doing now is completely different. So yes, I have grown in that way. My skills have grown and changed. So yes, but the core of me stayed the same. I would say I'm still the kid that I was when I was back at home. I loved fashion, and I still go back to things that I used to do in my childhood when I'm alone in my me time.
Uh-huh. So what was home like? What was your childhood like? Any special standout memory? Any core moment that
Uh,
defines?
in my childhood, there have been a lot of core memories. One of them was when I lost my father at a very young age. I was barely four, and that obviously had an impact on me and my personality. I would say it made me more hardworking because I always have this thing in me that, I want to make my mom proud and my now parents proud, and I don't want to like cause any trouble to them. So I was never a naughty kid for that reason. Like I didn't want my mom, especially, to feel anything bad. Then she had already gone through a lot. So yes, that did have a deep impact on my personality as I grew up because I felt like an extra responsibility that I want the best for my mom as I grow up, and I want to give her back like all the happiness in the world. So that has something that defined my character. And but apart from that, there are a lot of happy memories as well because I had a good childhood. I was always a nerd, but at home I was a crazy kid. Like I have memories with my brother where we used to do these like shoots because he was into photography a lot as a passion. So he had this camera and he would style me in different ways, just like drape my mom's sari around me in different ways and give me a product and be like, just pose with this. And I used to love doing that. And yeah, that was a fun part. And I think my modeling started from there itself. I love like how my family has always like encouraged like getting clicked, and they were so like into clicking pictures everywhere we went on every trip. I have so many pictures. So yeah, I think that's also why I love being in front of camera now.
Think that actually reflects in your work. If like people just go onto your Instagram and just scroll, I think it actually reflects that you're very organized in. So actually, I want to touch upon this topic a little bit because you said, your father passing away and then you sort of becoming into this and blooming into a hardworking individual and enterprising individual. So when you shifted into like studying IT or like computer science for your bachelor's, was that the reason you sort of chose that particular career path for yourself because you thought that would provide you with the stability and the, let's say, comfort, or like having the entire background like just fall back on and sort of understand that it would give you stability in your life? So was that the reason why you chose engineering, and then later on, like as most engineers, you're like, this is not what I want to do, and then you moved into fashion and
Yeah, honestly, one of the big reasons I chose it was because it is an easy way to earn money. I would say not easy. I'm not saying like it's very easy. Obviously, you have to like study a lot, and there's a lot of hard work involved as well. But like I said, I was always a nerd growing up. I was like good with studies, so I wasn't struggling to get good marks. And because I got those good marks, I felt that I want to like put it to use, and I want to have a good livelihood. That was, of course, there. And IT, as we know, it's always booming, growing, and it's a very lucrative career to have. So when I had to choose that time that where I want to go to college, I was actually conflicted because I always had interest in fashion as well. So I was also considering NIFT, but of course, like I do not have a background, that I don't come from a family that's into fashion, not at all. They're like very away from all of that. I am from a business family. So that choice was also, obviously, my parents also are of the idea that having a IT career gives you more stability. And that time, I think I made this choice because of all these factors. There was lack of guidance as well. I did not even know if I have to model, how to go about that. I had no idea. I had no guidance or mentors or even friends that I knew that could like guide me in that route. But for IT, I knew it's pretty straightforward. I go to college, study 4 years, get my bachelor's, and my plan was probably also get master's and work in IT. So yeah, that's what I did. I went to college for 4 years, but when I was in college, I was away from home. That was when I moved away from home, and it was a completely different vibe because I'd grown up in Shimla in Himachal, which is a very small place, and my college was all the way in the south in Tamil Nadu. And that kind of defined my personality from there on, because I also had the freedom to explore what I want to be as an individual. And I never let go of that fashion aspect of me. Like, even if I tried, I just love that so much. So I got this first opportunity in my college. I had a friend from photography club who wanted a muse because there was a competition coming up, and so he asked me to model for him. And I said, yes, of course, why not? I would love to help you out. And then that's how I did my first shoot in college. And then from there on, I started doing more collaborations with people from the photography club, and that's how like it kind of started my modeling journey. And I realized that I love doing this. So, but that was more of a hobby back when I was in college. It was nothing professional. I was just doing it out of passion.
So when did the actual professional, like a first professional collab come about? Like, how did you finally transition into influencing and modeling?
So while I was in college, I was doing all these collaboration shoots, and I was also building my profile on Instagram because I was posting it. So it helped with my following a lot. It was growing, but not as fast as I would like it to be because the college had a lot of restrictions, not just on the students there were, but also around fashion. We couldn't wear a lot of things that I would like to wear. So it was a very conservative place. So once I moved out of college, I got my first job in Hyderabad. And when I moved to Hyderabad, that was when I got my first commercial gig as a model. And I was so happy that time because it was something like a dream come true. I never thought I would like professionally be able to pursue it. I was just doing it like a side gig or in my free time. Of course, I just knew that I love to create. But then when I got the opportunity to actually do it commercially in Hyderabad, it was something out of my dreams.
So what was that experience like? Like when you moved in from like a computer science way of thinking to like just being in a more creative and a more flexible space? Like were you able to apply anything you learned in like your classroom or in your coursework onto your influencing journey, or both are two detrimentally opposite, diabolically opposite fields?
When it comes to skill set, they are very different because in my job, I was using more of my analytical skills, and that was about it. But when it comes to modeling and influencing, there is a lot of creativity involved. So I have to tap in another region of my brain altogether to get in that zone. But what helped is my communication skills because we also have to do a lot of communication with brands, with the clients, and the negotiations.
Mhm.
And that I think really helped me define my brand as a model and a content creator. Being good with communication, negotiation, and understanding the other's point of view definitely gives you an upper hand, because being a model, if you're not good with communication, especially being a freelance model when you have to do all these conversations on your
Right.
by yourself. So I think that part really helped me crack the brand deals because otherwise I wouldn't be able to, and I would probably be doing barters. But I understood my value. I valued my time and my efforts more because I knew how much it takes to work. So yes, I think these are the things that I took from my college or my IT career. But apart from that, it is very different skill set.
Mhm. So, if you still have a choice, would you like to go back to your, let's say, IT, like a stable job, or would you still like to be doing this highly creative, highly random sort of influencing and modeling? Like, if you have a choice, what would you still pick and choose?
I would 100% choose doing this, what I'm doing right now, which is modeling and influencing, because this is something that comes from within. The job does give me a stable paycheck and the security every month, but there was a lack of satisfaction that I was feeling while doing my job. Like I felt like there's more to do, and it wasn't giving me that much happiness. While when I create something as an influencer, I feel this is what I created, this is my own. I feel really proud of it, of my work, when it publishes and people appreciate my work. It's a whole different feeling, and I love feeling that way, not just after receiving the appreciation. Even when I'm creating content, I just love the whole process. And I'm very grateful that right now I'm at a stage where I have a team, I can hire people to help me out and be better at what I'm already doing. So yeah, right now I'm at a very great place, and I would not switch this for my IT job right now.
So again, that brings me to like a very interesting question. I think that is on a lot of people's minds. What was your experience at the Miss Universe pageant like? And like, what was the point of like decision that made you choose to like participate in the pageant, given that you already have like a solid background of influencing and modeling? So what made you like get into the entire pageantry world, and talk to us about the experience on the whole?
Okay, so starting with, like I told you, when I was back in college, I was very interested to pursue this, but because of certain restrictions from my college, I wasn't wholly being able to go out of the college and pursue pageantry. So from that time, I was following it, but I was waiting for the right time. Like once I'm out of college, I'm going to probably participate. But once I was out of college, COVID hit, and we were all in lockdown, and that kind of like subdued. That was not my priority during that time. I was totally focused on my job. I wasn't even thinking about modeling gigs and all of that. I kind of totally immersed myself in my job for that time, because it was a very hard time for everyone, and there were no what's happening also as a model because of the lockdown, of course. So I had kind of when it got over, when I again came back to Hyderabad, it started going really well, and I was enjoying the process, and I completely forgot about pageantry, or that I wanted to participate in it. I'd like kind of given up on that aspect. I thought it's never going to happen now. I am over that stage. But then when Miss Universe was happening this time, first time on state level, they were also very inclusive, which was something which I did not know about, because from what I knew, pageants are not so inclusive when it comes to married women and all of that. And since I'd already gotten married by that point, I had given up hopes of even being able to participate. But when I got to know it's inclusive this time, and it's happening in Hyderabad, I was like, why not give it a try? Because I felt like it's a signal. I just came across it on Instagram, and I was like, I'll just give it a try. Why not? There's nothing to lose, and it'll be a good experience to talk about. So yeah, that's how I just went for it. And I feel I do that with a lot of opportunities. I do not think a lot about it. If an opportunity strikes, I'm just like, okay, I will just go for it and do all the thinking later. So I put myself in like challenging situations, and I feel that makes me grow 10x compared to how much I would have grown otherwise. So I just put myself in the situation, and I signed up for Miss Universe. And I remember on my way for the audition, I was pretty stressed, and I was like, I don't know what I signed up for, because I was not trained. Because I know a lot of people get a lot of training for pageants, and I respect that. And I was feeling kind of lost, but I just told myself, just be yourself and like leave the rest to destiny. And I felt like whatever I had learned through the years and the person I had been, I just on that day I was completely being myself. That's what I did, and all the self help or self development I had done over the past few years really helped me crack that audition. Because yeah, I mean, coming from no training, it was a really happy moment for me to crack the first audition, because it was the first time participating in a pageant too. So I think it was an amazing experience. And pageantry is about growing yourself. I feel that's a huge aspect of it. And I love doing that on my own, even if there is no pageantry. I just love grooming myself, growing, and reading self help books. So that is my personality, and that has been my personality. So I felt like I've kind of been training myself unknowingly over the years, because I'm inclined to do the same things in my free time. So, yes, that really helped. And yeah, that's how it started. I just wanted to push myself.
Right. So I think after like listening to you talk about the Miss Universe pageant, I think again a question naturally arises in people's minds, right? Like after you've been and put yourself through like a set of auditions, and then you've gone from state to nationals, and then at the end moment you just sort of decide that something's not working out, or again that might be a personal way of thinking on what was not like again like working out in your career trajectory. So talk to us about that a little bit. Like what made you decide not to compete at the highest level again after having been
Yeah,
through all the drama, excitement, and everything?
it was it was a lot. So when I got selected initially from the auditions to the point when there was first state level, and then there was the nationals, and it was for a course of 1 to 2 months. And I would say it was a lot of hard work, a lot of time involved. Pageantry was the only thing on my mind during those months. And because I was in it, I wanted to give it my all, like 100%. So that is what I was doing. I was giving it my all. But when I went to the nationals, the experience was amazing. Initially, I loved meeting all the girls there, and doing all the shoots, and it was a completely different vibe from what I'm used to. But what made me not compete was the contract, because I knew there is going to be a contract eventually. I had also spoken to the state director about it after winning from the state, because I wanted to make it clear what's the terms and conditions. But that time I was told there's nothing serious as a contract, and that organization particularly does not make you sign one contract. So I was like, okay, if that's the case, I'm in. But when the contract came in, and I went through the contract, it is kind of like an agency managing you going forward, right? And I haven't worked with agencies in the past for this reason, because I'm working as a freelance, and I'm at a point where I can make my own decisions for myself. I have a team that helps me, and I navigate through what I have to do, and I tell my team what we should be doing. But if I sign the contract, it would be like working with an agency, which is like, a lot of agencies, obviously they take a cut out of your whatever projects they provide you, but there were certain terms and conditions that were not working out in that particular contract for the work that I am already doing on my own. So I would lose out on those opportunities and on that work, or I'll have to take approval for all the work that I'm doing outside of them, right? Here in Hyderabad, or whatever connections I've built till date in my profession, that would be affected. So I didn't want to be in a position where I'm losing out on those opportunities, or I'm not getting approval for those opportunities. And apart from that, also from my personal life, like I love to travel, and I left my IT job also, and I was so happy about like not taking permission or leaves to travel anywhere I have to go. But they do have this constraint that if you have to travel, you have to take permission or approvals from them. So all of that felt a little restrictive to me, both professionally as well as personally. I felt that I am not at that stage right now. I would feel it's a great start if you're starting out as a model and you're looking for opportunities that you do not have right now. It's a great place to start, since they will provide you with a few opportunities from their end. But what I felt personally was like that boat had sailed for me. I had gone there for more career development. I thought I'll get more opportunities that I am already getting, but for me it kind of backfired. It was uh, I would be okay if they're taking like cuts out of what jobs they are providing me. But of course, like what the work and connections I have built, I was not okay paying them also a cut. And then I have to pay my team as well, for the videographer, the creative director that I already work with, the hairstylist, makeup stylist. So that cut was a huge part of why I couldn't go forward with it. So professionally, that's why I did not align with what I was seeing it as, just because of my existing setup and existing projects and clients. But if I did not have that and I was just starting out in the industry and I needed help to grow, that's a great place to be at. I feel pageantry is great for that. It is similar to like an agency. And for the same reason, I haven't signed up with any agency, because it makes you exclusive to them. You cannot work outside of them. You have to take a lot of approvals, give them a 30% commission. So yeah, it was kind of the same reason I couldn't go forward with it. But I would have loved to perform. I really would have. I tried like everything I could. But yeah, it just didn't work out, and I wasn't allowed to perform because of not signing the contract. So I was honestly very emotional when all of that happened, because I was so prepared to go on that stage, and I was so confident that I'm going to kill it.
Mhm.
I had prepared for a month or so. I had gone through training. I had all my wardrobe ready, my national costume. There were so many people rooting for me. It was unreal. But yeah, I just wish I could have been provided the opportunity to perform. But it's okay. I feel in the end, whatever happens is for your own good. Probably like God has other plans.
Yeah, probably. Again, I think what I want to talk about is, do you think pageants are relevant? Like, given that and the entire Instagram influencing or like YouTube influencing or just being a vlogger or something is on the rise, and like anybody and everybody today can just, start up a Instagram page or like a YouTube channel. So, do you think it's really relevant for people to go into or put themselves through like a pageantry sort of journey? Because I think initially people would go into pageantry because they want to eventually end up into modeling or like films or in that creative field, right? So do you think right now, given the current industry scenario or like the current acceptance that people have given to other artists or influencers per se, do you think pageantry is still relevant, or is it redundant, to sort of speak?
I think pageantry is not necessary in today's scenario, but it is a good way. It is a good thing to do if you want to. Like you said, in today's world, anyone can start an Instagram or YouTube, put your heart and soul into it, and get to a very good level as a content creator or even as a model. Not all models go through pageants and then they're successful. That's not the case. Because pageants on their own, they do not promise anything, they do not provide you like it's not a necessity that in today's world, if you are in a pageant, you will be successful. Like that is not the case. It's just what you make out of it at the end of the day, which is true with all these platforms as well. Like if you want to be an influencer, it is how much hard work you put into it, how much effort you put into it. So similarly for pageantry, it's not necessary that you will be famous or you will be successful if you're in a pageant. That's not the case. But if you want to groom yourself, let's say you want to learn, you're starting out as a model, you want to learn things, then it's a good way to just put yourself through the process, and it'll just teach you some things about modeling, about camera angles, about how shoots go on, and about stage presence or into performing on stage. It'll give you some exposure about that. But of course, in today's world, it is not a necessity. You can be a model. Apart from that, you can also be a model if you sign up with an agency instead. And these days, social media has a lot of impact. I would say I don't think a lot of influencers or any influencers till now have like been influencers because they were part of a pageant. That's not the case. So it is like a learning experience, like everything is in life, just a learning experience, but it does not promise you anything. Even if you win a pageant, it's still up to you. You can still be on the same level after winning a pageant, or you can do something and make something out of it. That also depends on your hard work and how you use your title, you know. It's dependent on the individual. Winning a pageant, losing a pageant does not really have a real effect unless you know how to use it to your advantage or to your career growth. How will you use that? So it depends on that, and of course, it's not necessary.
Mhm. Okay, I think that is a lot of insight into like the workings of the industry as well. I think people would actually take away a lot from what you just said because you've been in that entire zone and now you're talking out of experience, right? So I think it would help a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Experience. Yeah, this is what I have learned personally. So just sharing that. It might be different for different people. I know a lot of girls are so passionate about pageantry. They give years of their lives to prepare for it because they just like the feeling of being on stage. And a lot of contestants that I've met there, they are very patriotic. And when I ask them, what's the reason that you're participating and like so passionately, you've been preparing for it for so long. So one of the answers that I got from the girls was that they would love to represent India on an international platform. So they're very attached to the crown, to the pageant, and being able to represent India. So everyone has their own reasons, but I am talking from my point of view, from my experience and my learnings. And yeah, as a model, as a content creator, if you're looking for opportunities, this is not the only way, I would say.
right. Talking about opportunities, any future exciting collaborations on the radar? Anything people can look forward to? Anything you're excited about?
I am excited about a lot of projects in my pipeline. To be honest, in the month of December, I'm really looking forward to a lot of these campaigns. But one thing that has happened is recently I've transitioned into acting. So I've started giving auditions, which I initially wasn't giving. I was just focusing on my modeling and content creation. But because of all these opportunities, I've started auditioning. And I think a movie is in the works. We are in talks. So soon the shoot is going to happen this month itself, and you're gonna see me soon on the big screen. So fingers crossed. I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be like a debut project for me. So, and acting is again a different skill set. So I'm very excited about that as well.
Right, sounds interesting, and I think that's a very exciting note to end this interview on as well. And we wish you all success on anything that can help you grow in your journey. We hope to see you on the big screen
Thank
soon.
you.